Do you think you'll ever go back to Venezuela?
I hope so. And I think this social construct of knowing what you want to do by the age of 25, 23, 22, dude, it's insane. England gave my dad an extra 4 years of life.
Who do you think you're becoming?
It's like a knowing, because it's like I know what I'm supposed to do. Comparison it's a thief of joy, I think is a...
Comparison is a thief.
And that really goes down to the way you look. Even at work, I would look at people that would speak about a certain topic when it comes to wine that I wouldn't know. And I'll be like, it would annoy me.
So, in the future, what do you want to do? Welcome to the Lost Podcast.
Thank you.
Can you give us a small introduction as to who you are?
Perfect, yeah. Manuel Pinto. I'm from Venezuela. I was born and raised there. And I've been in England since 2017, I think. So
That's actually less than I thought.
it is not as much as people think, to be fair. I was very lucky.
Your English is incredible.
Thank you very much.
If I had to guess, I would have said that you've been here since you were born.
Perfect. I mean, I was sort of lucky to land in Henley on Thames, out of all places.
That is true, yeah.
In the UK, it's like the poshest one. And I learned English there. I didn't really learn, I just heard the teachers sort of saying, "Hey, Luke, can you close the door?" And from there, I picked up sort of my accent.
But did you know any English when you came here?
I didn't. So I had to go through Macbeth.
Zero.
No knowledge whatsoever. And chemistry and all. As you can imagine, secondary school was not the easiest challenge, but we're here now. Super proud.
Okay, so you grew up in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Moved here when you were
14.
14.
Yes.
Went straight into
Straight into year 8.
Year 8.
Indeed, I was moved down a year, I must say. You know, they had speculations that I was a little slow. So
Zero English.
Zero English. I knew my name. Mm-hmm. My name is, and that's it.
Manuel Pinto.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's quite the story. And now you're... How old are you?
23. Recently.
23 recently.
Correct, yeah.
You live in London.
Correct.
Your family still lives in Henley, right?
Yes. My mom and some of my brothers do.
And you have family in Venezuela?
Most of my family is in Venezuela. Still. Yes. Still. My only grandma and loads of aunties and uncles and cousins mainly, but...
Okay. And
yeah.
Do you see them much?
Not necessarily much. Since I left, I only went back once.
Okay.
And it was the first time I could enjoy my country and see my family as an adult.
Yeah.
By far the best place
really
I've ever been. It's amazing, dude. Venezuela has the Caribbean Sea, has the highest mountains, the ladies, the rum, the beaches. Oh my God, it's a lot. And when you're with families around it, it's really special.
Interesting. I mean, I'll be honest, growing up in the UK and probably most of Westerners, we don't really hear much about Venezuela.
No, in fact, fun story, I took my British ex from Lincolnshire, Boston, if anybody knows where that is, to Venezuela, and I had to go through 2 months of explanations to her parents, saying, they asked me questions like, is there any hospitals?
No
way. In which I said, no, we just have black magic in the jungle to take the piss completely.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know. Nobody knows. All you type... I
know that much, but yeah
it's
still crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sad the way that my country is portrayed. I mean, it's sad yet true. Mm-hmm. But it's a really, really magical place. And the people is what really sets it apart.
That's so interesting.
She got treated as a
queen.
Because if you type Venezuela right now in Google, the UK sort of website, it will tell you it's on stage number 4, danger. And there's only 2 countries after that. It's just like Iraq and Afghanistan. Wow. Which is... I wouldn't be surprised if my daughter wants to go one day. I'll be like, calm down. Yeah. Slow down. So, from the story, yeah.
Interesting. Because, yeah, I mean, I know enough about Venezuela to know what it kind of looks like and things, because I'm quite interested in geography, so I kind of know what places kind of look like. But actually being there, living there, whatever, couldn't tell you anything.
I could, but that's a different podcast. We can definitely.
Did you? Whereabouts in Venezuela did you?
I was born in the capital in Caracas. But very young, I moved to Valencia, which is in Venezuela, an hour and a half away, for matters of safety, more than anything, and that's where I sort of spent the next 13 years of my life, in which I would meet all my friends, develop baseball, best sport in the world, I must say. And sort of gain values and become the man I am today. I would definitely say that I learned most of my values living in Venezuela than after I left.
Really?
Here, yeah. I was too focused on learning English, dude. I had nothing else. You know what I mean? So...
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what's the main reason you still live in London? Or is that home for you now? Is the UK home for you now?
Well, I moved to London to do university, to study. Mm-hmm. I was in St. Mary's in Twickenham. I was doing a football coaching and players development course with Chelsea. So I was lucky enough to go and coach the under 8s and under 7s in Stamford Bridge in their sort of home ground.
Wow.
And then a couple of things happened, actually, here and there, and I had to take a different route into what I could do in London. Mm-hmm. And that's where I find a couple jobs. So it's been definitely a weird outlook into why I'm in London. Mm-hmm. Because that's when I met my sort of girlfriend at the time, and I was only here to support her because she was going through university.
Okay.
For the last 3 years. So I wanted to be, hard ground that she can stand on until she was able to accomplish her goal. And then we'll see from there. And slowly things have kind of just separated, and I'm not too sure what else London has for me, for sure, which is it's kind of tricky.
Interesting.
Even though there's so many things to do in London, for someone like me that's family driven, that's always been with my family, was raised with thousands of people, cousins, it's very weird to go through every single day pretty much without the touch of your father, your mom, your cousins.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's different. We're very family centered people, and that won't change if you're 50, if you're 30, if you're 12, if you learn that pretty early on, because that's what we rely on very quickly in our lives down there in the third world, down there.
Okay, yeah. Well, now I want to move to the questions.
Go ahead.
That is the theme of this podcast.
Please.
If you guys didn't know, we ask 3 questions, same 3 questions every single time.
Okay.
And then see where the conversation goes from there.
Perfect.
I think you will have a lot of interesting topics that we can talk about.
That's good.
Yeah, let's get these questions out the way first.
Perfect.
So the first question is, right now, do you feel as though you know who you are? You can answer it as basic or as advanced as you like.
Weirdly enough, again, I'm going to go back to where I come from. I've known who I am from the values that my parent gave me. So when I speak to you, I speak on their behalf and everything they taught me when I was growing up, which I think is something that people forget. People that are rude out there in the streets, people that, have a lack of empathy and kindness, they forget that that's not, hopefully, what they were taught at home. Mm-hmm. And I've always tried to embrace the hard work of my mom being a stay-at-home mom. Luckily, she was a stay-at-home mom, giving us the most she could ever, the best values, the best lessons, the best thoughts, the best beat-ups that she could for us to get better. And that's something that I always try to implement in terms of what I would like to project in my life. It's pretty simple, weirdly enough. I just want to stick to kindness. Kindness is free, and that's something that I always lived with. That's what I was raised with. And it's hard to, walk away from that when you saw your parents working so hard at the start for you can be and have such a pleasant life. So yeah, I don't think that's the regular answer you really get at the podcast. I wouldn't necessarily know, but that's definitely something that I'm comfortable to share. That it is super. We love to complicate the simple things, and we like to simplify the complex. It's a human thing. You don't like the simples. You want the complex. Once you have the complex, you want to make it simple.
Yeah.
Which is why life on the third world seems so much simpler, because we focus on the simple and we appreciate the simple.
Yeah.
Which is why the further you move, you start to realize, and it's contagious. You forget what you have. You forget things that you should be so proud of and thankful every day, because it's contagious. And I think London is contagious in a way.
London is, it's full of every single walks of life.
Most diverse place I've ever seen. And everybody has different backgrounds, cultural aspects, and it's fantastic to learn and see other people sort of drive through London in their own ways. Yeah. But sometimes when you feel like you're not doing it yourself, you get stuck.
True.
So,
yeah.
And I think most people in London that are our age, let's say, the sort of 20 to 25 bracket, they're kind of stuck. They just finished the degree. Yeah. There's no jobs. What are you going to do? Now here comes this. Am I going to take it? Should I? And that sort of.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a solid answer. Now, question 2.
Please.
In your life, and this one might be quite an easy one for you.
Okay.
When have you felt the most lost?
I think you can probably guess. Wow. I think definitely I have 2 answers. I have the answer of going through physics in secondary school, for sure. Biology, the mitochondria, I didn't really get most of that. Definitely feeling like in a place that you don't belong. Not just from feelings, but from natural behaviors that kids that grew up, especially like Henley-on-Thames, tend to do, or things that they tend to say that whether you understand or not, you pick it up. So definitely going to school, coming back from school. By the time you come back, both my mom and my dad are working. I wouldn't see them until they come back. By the time they come back at nighttime, I'm asleep. So it would be like weeks, almost 2 weeks, that I wouldn't see my mom, apart from good morning and good night. In a situation that I needed comfort and I needed support. Yeah. And it's something that I've never even mentioned to them. So that's when I was the most lost. And the second part, it's when I lost my dad. I lost my dad about 2 years ago. And he was always there. As a father figure, it's one of the most important things for a young life. That was definitely by far. I didn't know how to behave, what to think. All I knew is that alcohol was nearby, and for some reason it felt like the only option. And we moved from there. Luckily, I was able to understand that I was doing something wrong. And learn my lesson the harder way.
Did he live in the UK with you?
Yeah. So he was ill.
Okay.
For most of his life. He was ill from the age of 20. And by that time, he already met my mom. So he had a kidney transplant when he was 22. And in a country like Venezuela that deteriorated sort of quick, the access to medicines and was very limited. That's perhaps the main reason we left the country, because we were lucky enough to, survive. But the main reason we migrated was for my dad's health. And I was lucky enough to, England gave my dad an extra 4 years of life, which is why I would never be ungrateful about anything. I managed to spend 4 extra years with my dad. Yeah, so the day passed, it was pretty tough. I was in a wedding, actually, with all of my dad's brother, my uncles.
Yeah.
I was the only one there from my household, so it was a hard news to receive at a wedding. So
Shit, yeah.
I blacked out for sure. Yeah, I had to, kind of thing. So yeah, that's the two sort of thing. So two situations where I've realized.
Of course, yeah.
That I'm lost. Because I think for most of us, we don't necessarily feel guided.
No, not always.
Right? Like we sort of just get up. We don't really know where the day is going to go. You know that you have to go to A to B to come back from B to A to get C at the end of the month. I mean, in terms of future, it's...
Well, that leads me on to question 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I can ask you that first.
Okay,
and
cool,
then you can go from there. But
go ahead.
Question 3, no, it's just, who do you think you're becoming, and do you like it or not? Like, are you proud of who you're becoming or not?
That's a great question, I must say. Well crafted too. For me, this in a small way links to the first question. As I've never had a day where I was not proud of the way I behaved, in apart from when I was a little bit drunk and the regular, but in terms of values, I'm still learning a lot about myself, even though, like I said before, I learned a lot at my younger age, but that's values that not necessarily applied anymore into this world, in London either. So who am I becoming? I think it's a great question. I think I'm a person that loves sports. I love to play softball. I grew up playing baseball in Venezuela. Played 11 years. Unfortunately, I had to leave the country. That was a real bummer. I was very excited to, make it at some point, but that didn't happen. So
enter the MLB.
The MLB was. I don't know. That's a really small bracket of who can make it.
Of course.
But the dreams was always there.
Yeah.
In terms of who am I becoming, I just really want to become someone that my dad can look down and be like proud of. Follow sort of his path. I have traditional values in a way that I want to raise a family. I want to get to a stage that I can feel comfortable enough that I can have 2-3 kids if I'm lucky, have my own house, and sort of become someone that another person wants to look up to. Whether it's my own kids, whether it's a close friend, whether it's you one day, as nobody knows what sort of life takes you and the way it does. I want to be really good at golf, that's for sure. But that's a lot of things that you never know.
Yeah, true. I think it's hard to know like where you will go. All you can do is kind of focus on trying to head towards where you want to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think a lot of things you've said you can obviously aim towards.
Of course.
So, yeah.
And it's a big thing when it comes to what you're saying. Like, you can focus on the future, but if you don't focus on what you're doing now, it's like what are you doing now is the aim on what you want to become.
Exactly. You can aim the arrow but you still need to fire the arrow. You still need to, and then walk the path of the arrow. You can't.
Yeah. So it's I feel like excuse me. The arrow is definitely pointing in that direction, but for some odd reason, I'm like going that way. I'm going opposite ways.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I do tend to have the issue of just giving up in things of like, I'm gonna start the gym, for example. I want to be able to protect someone at some point if in case of anything happens. And then I just give up on it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get a diploma in wine. I start studying. I just kind of slowly go the other way. And that I have had that issue with most things in my life. And it's something that I don't seem to get better at. And I don't really know a way that I can really sort of help myself. I think you call it procrastination. I'm not too sure. You just leave it until the last possible moment. And most of the time it's too late when the time you realize, I gotta start again. And then I start again. But then I always know that I need to start again because I'm gonna drop it. So that's why I'm saying what I really want to do. Sometimes it's more fictional sometimes in my brain than what I sort of know is going to happen. And that's a mentality I definitely need to focus on.
For me, I would say what's helped me in my life is whenever I have a certain trait that I want to have, it's kind of like a grinding. I kind of picture it like you're mining a cave, right? You have to grind your way like towards that person that you want to become, and then once you are there, it's kind of habitual,
right?
So like, for example, like the gym, for me, this is just an example for me.
Yeah.
When I started to go into the gym when I was like 15, 16, at the start, it was probably, from my memory, it was great fun. You know, I didn't really need to think about going because all my friends went. And then it kind of, when that goes and you're kind of just getting bored and blah, 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 by that point, I had kind of chipped away to that habit, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's like, it became a habit. And even now, I don't even sometimes I just don't even think about it. Like I just wake up, I'm just like, I'm in the gym.
That's great.
I literally don't even, and like, I think with everything in terms of like what you do, it's all habits.
That's definitely,
I think relating to what you were saying.
No, of course it is.
But yeah, I think
it's all habits for sure. It's also comfortability.
Yeah.
You know, you feel comfortable in your bed, not doing much, being lazy, being on the phone, playing games, etc.
For me, what takes me apart from that is this like desire to want to change my current situation. Like that constant desire to want to achieve more.
Yeah.
Just completely rules out any like, I can like, there'll be like one day a month where I'm like, do you know what? I just don't want to do anything today.
All right.
And I'll give myself that. Genuinely, I will give myself that. Like, you know.
That's where we're like completely different. Like,
but
completely.
For me, if I wake up and it's like, you know, whatever, I worked last night, whatever, I know what I need to do that day.
Yeah.
And I just go and do it. Like maybe that's like, I built up to that point. Like I think in Japan, for example, I think, do you know what? Like me going to Japan changed everything. Like I'd wake up, I knew exactly what I was going to do that day and I'd go and do it. Didn't matter where it was, whether it took me an hour and a half on a train. Planned,
yeah.
And I think that kind of habit of like, okay, this is what I'm doing it. Okay, this is what I'm doing, going and doing it. And just that constant like task, achieve, task, achieve, task, achieve. It just like builds that habit of like...
It's so small.
It's so small,
It's so small. It's like telling you, it's small wins that I slowly need to implement. Like you're saying, like I'm not, for the next 30 minutes, I'm not going to be on my phone. Can I do that? That's sort of things that I need to start. Small wins, the brain adapts and then you feel good about it and you do it again and then it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like annoying because it's like I know what I'm supposed to do in terms of gym, work, eat better, do it again. But yet, there should be a disease called the Pinto disease. Because it's like I know that I'm supposed to do something, I do it for 2 days, then I stop. And then I stop again, and then I don't do it.
Do you think you're ADHD?
there's a high chance that I'm ADHD. I do keep losing milk every time I open the fridge, and I don't know where it goes, dude. I swear to God.
No, but there's that nature of doing things for 2 days, stopping, doing something else for 2 days, stopping. It just screams something like that.
I definitely need to get checked. But this is also one thing that's huge into the Latin side of the world. We don't get checked.
Oh no,
we don't get checked.
Yeah.
We don't believe in things like therapists and stuff like. We do believe in. We do have them, but not necessarily everybody would definitely go. Like,
yeah,
it's a different world, and I think sometimes it strikes you in good and bad ways. Sometimes I'll be like, I have a great life. I have 2 hands. I don't need to go to the gym. I'm blessed. In which sometimes I would have a different outlook into whole life and be like, I only have this. I need to strive for more.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to be way too thankful in what we have. Perhaps we're always happy, but we can be happier.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know what to strive for. Is it happy now or happier in the future? So obviously you need to put yourself through a little bit of suffering when it goes to the gym, and you need to leave. And of course it gets tedious if it's not a habit, like it is for me. And sometimes it really goes to, like, some people say, as sort of comparison it's a thief of joy. I think
comparison is a thief of joy.
And that really goes down to the way you look at it. If you have a strong mentality and you know who you are, you can compare yourself and see it in a positive way. So
I completely agree, by the way.
Yeah, I think even at work, I would look at people that would speak about a certain topic when it comes to wine that I wouldn't know. And I would be like, it would annoy me. It would upset me not knowing that. To the point, I would go in the back, research the same thing so I can just be part of the conversation. And that doesn't necessarily kill my joy. It just pushes me and drives me forward. And that's where I think success, comparison is not really the thief of joy. Perhaps they come side by side. We've just been looking at wrong in an aspect. But again, I might just be a crazy guy. I might just have a different way to think. But I think if you compare yourself in an aspect to someone that you look as a role model, and it in work, in life, in business, in fighting, doesn't matter. If you want to become that person, if you compare yourself to it, you're going to realize you're losing. And you only have so much time to get better and win. So what you have to do with your life, I've not necessarily agreed with comparisons as a thief of joy most of the times. Obviously, if you compare yourself to a bodybuilder and you look like me, of course, there's not going to have any joy. You're not going to have any joy at the gym.
No.
So, but when it comes to role models, and you know, definitely, I think it's been looked at in a different perspective.
I agree. I do think to some extent comparison can thieve your joy.
Mm-hmm.
But for me as well, it's always been a sense of motivation. Like whenever I see someone doing something I want to do, instantly I'm not like, oh, blah, 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 they did this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, like I want to do that in my life.
Yeah.
Like recently I've been watching a lot more like stuff about China.
Right.
I just have this like sense of going there now. Like
okay.
I had the same thing with Japan. I still do love Japan. I still do have that sense of really just wanting to go. But China is weirdly just like...
What is in there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like coming to me and just like just feel this sense of like going there. But yeah, I think I agree with you. It depends on the way you look at things.
Of course. Imagine. Of course.
Do you think you'll ever go back to Venezuela?
I hope so. Luckily, I still got my parents' house in Venezuela. I'm sort of, my parents are Portuguese, so as we were born and we did our first communions, we're a hugely Catholic country. Most Portuguese people would sort of give gold from the God, like the Godfather would give it to, goddaughters and godsons. So we invested a lot of money, my parents did, into building what our house is today, and it's luckily a good investment for sure. especially with everything that's going on now. You never know if you want to sell, which I doubt is the case. I do have the option of going, as I have a house and my family and my grandma is there. Whether I would, I'm not too sure. Even though my brother has some businesses in there that perhaps I can help him with and join him, but not yet. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to implement new rules, new systems. It's going to take time for Donald Trump to put money into the whole infrastructure of the oil to start producing more oil again so we can sell more and we can bring more in. So it's going to take time. Hopefully for 2030, 2035, I see myself hopefully visiting my country or living in my country if I could. Venezuela is such a simple country. At the moment, and for so long, we've had power cuts of 8 to 12 hours long. We had a really bad one that lasted 5 days. And you would think people are like in misery and suffering. We were, of course. Yet, first thing we do was bring the domino table in the middle of the street. All the neighbors would come. There was always beer somehow. Everybody's poor, but there's always beer. And we just hang, we'll just dance outside, we'll do whatever. Because you get used to it. You find the ways to cheer life. So I don't think that can be taken away from Venezuelans. Whether it's the United States that want to take over. This is why I'm not worried who takes over. Because the Venezuelan aspect and our scent doesn't leave us. I still carry my scent to wherever I go. I still want to dance salsa. I still hear. If I'm blacked out and I hear a salsa song, my body rises. Naturally. So, yeah, that's what I kind of think.
No, I love that.
In that aspect of life.
You're making me want to visit.
It is sick, I'm telling you. My ex cried 3 times.
Really?
She didn't want to leave. And people in my country cry because they want to leave. The irony, behind it.
Yeah. You're making me want to visit. There's some rainforests in there, right?
Huge. We share. We have the Amazon River rainforest in there.
Yeah.
Just for the Angel Falls.
Man, I need to.
Just the Angel Falls, dude. Are you serious? We have dunes in the country. We have a desert. We have a huge desert. We have mountains. We have snow. We have the Amazon rivers. We have the highest waterfall in the world. We have the Caribbean Sea. Technically, we don't lack of anything. We're great in sport. We have oil. We have all these resources. We're great people with good values. It's just the government that kind of got in the way. But that doesn't stop us on being who we are and expressing hardly and showing emotions. As we're Latin people, love to show emotions. We can't get away from that. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
To be honest,
it's sort of.
I can tell that you definitely want to aim towards going back.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's really interesting, to be honest.
I wish I could take everybody I know
Yeah.
to Venezuela. I should come up with a business plan in which I could just.
We'll just sneak
Actually,
into the oil refinery. Take a barrel. You didn't see us, guys.
Or just take everybody that I know there, visit, come back. Yeah, it's seriously a great place. It's a great place to be. You don't lack, apart from safety. At the moment, you don't really lack much. Which is something you never guess, of course.
Of course, yeah. So in the future, what do you want to do? Are you thinking, do you want to work in a business? Do you want to own a business? Do you want to make a business? Do you want to work a regular job? What do you think you want to do in the future? You're quite young.
I am quite young.
So you don't really need to think about it too much, and it's okay if you haven't, but I'm just still interested.
I think the only time in which I had my future planned out, it was when I was playing baseball in my country. The only thing I wanted to become was a baseball player. That was it. I push forward every single day. And even when I came here, obviously I realized it's the UK. They don't play baseball here. They kind of do, but
Probably, mostly not.
Not necessarily. I wanted to open like baseball grounds, so to sort of implement baseball and teach around. But that sort of, went out the window. So what I would like to do, perhaps carry on with the wine life for a bit.
Just so everyone knows you're a sommelier.
Yeah.
So what is a sommelier?
A sommelier is a wine expert or wine connoisseur, if you like to mention it. It's someone that learns about the type of soils, the type of grapes, differences in the wind, and the effects that they can have in vines, in grapes. Basically, they know what your wine is gonna taste like. In simpler,
everything about wine.
Everything about wine. You need to know that the years, the differences in years. If there was rain during the harvesting season, is very important because they could have early harvested or late harvested, and that could change the wine completely. It's a lot that goes to this job, and it's a beautiful, beautiful career, I must say. This is why I keep doing it every day, because it's not often you find a career that everybody shares the same passion for. If you go into finance or office jobs, everybody's dying to leave the office and get to the weekend and, not do it again. And it's 7 a.m. office with wine, whether you work with wine or you drink wine. Everybody loves to hear, speak, and drink wine. And I think it's rare to find in the labor side of, careers. Of course, sports is a little different. I think everybody loves to play sports. If I could play golf every day forever and get paid, I would do it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So definitely stick to the wine for a bit. See how far I can get. Perhaps leave London at some point. Move back to Henley or somewhere that I can, afford a flat or a house. And maybe open a little wine shop, little wine bar. I'll say a wine bar. I am okay with people. I'm gonna say I do get along very well with people.
That's lovely.
Met some nice people in my time in London, and luckily I don't really have bad reviews. I've had a couple, but mainly.
I think
I'm a very people driven.
Amazing. A little wine store.
Yeah, name it as
a little bar.
The name I would never know. No, we never know the name. We never know the name. Something definitely third world driven.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. I would definitely visit.
Yeah, it's not too far from here.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great for the Royal Regatta. If you ever have your time, it'll be good.
And okay, so that's like, you wouldn't say you have a dream, or you?
I think my dream was to become a baseball player. That was it. I think I'd never really had another outlook after that. I think. Yet, it's true. That is the main thing. I'm still 23 recently.
Come on, man. Yeah, you're 23.
I can still do nothing for the next 10 years of my life. And I'm 33.
Yeah.
I still got so much time. And I think this social construct of knowing what you want to do by the age of 25, 23, 22, unless you always wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, sure. But this kind of lie that everybody needs to know what they're supposed to do by our age, dude, it's insane. I don't think there's most people out there are figuring out by the age of 35, 40, still changing jobs. And it's not until 50 that they dropped a business idea that took them to wealth and fame, I did think about start modeling though, at some point.
Do you know?
I don't know about that. I think
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. Someone told me about it, and I was like, you know what? I should probably try. I don't know, but I go a little shy. I must say, a little shy guy.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that
you never know to do it.
You don't really think you should, but then, like, I had a friend from home. She, was hesitant whether to try and blah blah blah. People would say, "Oh, you should," and then she did, and now she gets paid regularly.
There you go, man.
And it's not, she enjoys it from what I know, from when I've spoken to her. But yeah, yeah. I'm just editing the podcast now, and unfortunately my camera did die at this very moment. So yeah, I thought about maybe re-recording it or trying to edit around it, but to be honest, I think the conversation we had was just too good not to upload. So I'm gonna upload it anyway. But yeah, from now on there won't be video. So yeah. But anyways, hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast. Thank you guys.
That's I think the biggest step into change is the first one. I think that's when you really, when you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and try something else. From there, you shouldn't go back. You made a huge step. So I think for sure, the biggest step into success is definitely the first one. Without the first one, there wouldn't be. All these people that made businesses and McDonald's and other things, like if they never made the first step, then they probably wouldn't be where they are right now.
So you don't think you have like crazy dreams of like being super rich?
I would like to have financial freedom. I think that's what's really important about becoming rich. It's not necessarily you can buy all the houses, the cars and everything. It's about knowing that you can go and see your mom on a Tuesday. You can take your wife to the hospital on a Wednesday. You're not at work. You don't necessarily have to worry about things that the regular working person would. I think that's what I want to achieve, because I've been rich my whole life. I had a family that was loving, and I had a healthy body. I've been rich my whole life. That's how I see it. Being financially free, I would definitely thrive for that. How I'll get there? That's a fantastic question. But yeah, definitely I would love to provide for whoever comes my way at some point. Make sure that everybody's looked after really around me. But yeah, just treat people with love, really.
No,
mainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely want to travel around. Definitely got to travel around. I have not been to Japan like you were saying. Like you've been before, and super jealous of Japan. I grew up watching Dragon Ball every single day of my life, and I really want to go to Japan. And the US is also, I really want to see the US. I grew up watching all the films that I watched was American-based films.
Yeah.
All the shows were American. Baseball's super American. So
they love it.
Mate, you've been, right? You've been
3 months.
It's the greatest sport in the world. Arguably the hardest.
They absolutely love it.
It's amazing. It's the best game.
Yeah.
Long, not as long as it used to be, but it's a great game for sure. Definitely Asia. I need to do Asia. There's beautiful places, beautiful countries, cultures. And I want to jump off a plane. Is that just random? I just want to do that for once.
No, yeah.
I really also always wanted to. Do you know the people that jump off mountains? They have like a suit on.
The wingsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you mess up once,
then
you're done.
Yeah,
right? You're kind of done.
That's a different. I think you need proper training.
Yeah.
Like you need like.
That's like an adrenaline junkie kind of.
Yeah, I think that's like next level. But yeah, I mean, if it's one of your goals, is go for it.
I mean, I always thought it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think there was a film called The Seven Wonders of the World or something like this. And in one of the scenes, there's like 7 guys really going at it. And it's pretty spectacular. Because it's fake, mainly.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. But yeah.
Do you think that people chase their dreams enough?
I think people chase the idea of their dreams. I don't think enough people chase a plan to achieve their dreams. I think that's where most people fail, most people don't. If a dream is just a thought without a plan. if you have a plan on how to day by day become someone that slowly you want to, get better, and it's who you're looking for to be in the future, that's where I think most of us are doing it wrong. Because I have thousands of dreams, yet I have no plans on how to achieve any of them. And how am I going to achieve them without a plan? And dreams can be as simple as they come, and be as complex as well. But I don't necessarily think people plan enough how to achieve their dreams. They like to stick on the idea that can magically ever gonna come through or true. So, yeah, that's what I probably think.
I think I agree. Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's not quite as easy as... It depends what their dream is.
Yeah.
As well. Like, if someone's dream is to move to a different country and live there, I think that's very feasible. I think that just needs a plan, Or if someone's dream is to start a family, again, I think that's very feasible. Just needs a plan. I think, when people's dreams become a little bit inflated, then it's
an astronaut,
Then it's harder. But again, you just need a plan. And I think a lot of the younger generation now are realizing that fact, that they just need a plan.
Yeah.
I think if you look back 50 years ago, dreams were dreams.
Yeah.
I think now dreams are just thoughts that haven't got plans yet, like you said.
Exactly.
And I think people are waking up to that a bit more.
Weirdly enough, it's also way easier, like you were saying, now than it was before. And I think the level of dreams, let's say 1 is to make a family and 10 is to go to the moon, that's changed a lot because of how simpler things are now. Having a podcast perhaps would have been a dream for so many people.
That's so true, yeah.
Right? And nowadays, because it's so normal and everybody sort of does it, everybody has access to it, and social media has such a big impact in how to do things and become someone and learn a skill, then I think dreams are perhaps not the same as they used to be before. Someone's dream before could be like learn Japanese, but that would mean you have to go to Japan and learn it. You couldn't learn it online. So, or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever language, or any skill, play the guitar, you'd have to go to actual lessons. You couldn't do it for free at home. But then you wouldn't even call it a dream. You call it a skill.
Yeah, it's changed.
So perhaps the perception of dreams have changed in perhaps a good way or in a bad way. I'm not sure which way I would look at it. I do think that social media has ruined most things in terms of relationships, the idea of how a perfect relationship should be, or a bad relationship, of green flags and red flags, and what you should be doing by the age of 22 and what should be doing by the age of 10, what should be doing, how to become a man. All of these things that are now out there, it's pretty conflictive, actually, I would say, because you only know how you feel. And you see a video of a 17-year-old, but let's say I'm 23, this guy's making millions and millions, and I'm working every day of my life to, get by. That negative impact can really get to you. And I think it's dangerous. Yet we all love to be in social media. So
it's addictive, right?
It is. I think it's really conflictive the way that dreams are nowadays.
In the nature of the world right now, where do you think people should be positioning themselves? Do you think the US is a good place to be? Do you think the UK is a good place to be? Do you think Europe's a good place to be?
Oh, God.
Do you think Asia's the place to be? I see a lot of people moving to Asia. I'm interested in your take, being someone that's, grew up in Venezuela. I mean, I have a definitely different perspective.
Well, this can be a hot take for sure. I don't think the UK in the next 15 to 20 years is going to be the same place as it is right now. Coming from Venezuela, it's a little different. I think Latin America, it's a fantastic place. Definitely not the place to be when it comes to safest and, you know, the place to make money or the continent. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would say UK. The UK is great for opportunities. You can find loads of jobs without having necessarily a huge background of expertise and knowledge into a job. I probably think Asia would be somewhere I would like to spend my time and
I would imagine
enjoy.
a sommelier in China that makes probably some decent money.
Well, yeah, there's jobs like there's restaurants like La Petite Maison, which is it's a completely huge sort of brand in a way. I'm not sure what the word is for.
Kind of, yeah.
For restaurants, they have restaurants in Hong Kong and in Tokyo, and I always see the advertising. It's always like triggering to just click.
Yeah.
But luckily, the Soms it's a job that you can take anywhere, and not because everybody doesn't really know it, so you can sort of take advantage of playing around with it. But I'll say last but not least, the US. I have a positive outlook when it comes to the US in terms of living there.
I think the US has opportunity, definitely, without a doubt. I just also do think that, like you said, I think it's a little bit more volatile, if that makes sense. Like, it's a little bit more like, yeah, okay, you can make loads of more money, but also this bad, horrendous thing also might happen. Like, it's a little bit less stable, I'd say. And again, this is based off what I've seen. I think the inequality gap is
Huge.
Definitely huge. I think that's a little bit scary. I think if you've got an amazing job and you're living, in a really, really good area, then I think
you'll be fine. Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity, and especially,
I agree, 100%.
New York is one that I would say sticks out to me.
Nice.
Of all places in America, if I was to consider relocating or looking at, I would probably say New York. Yeah.
I have heard it's like extremely expensive.
It is. It's like, you think London's expensive, you have no idea.
For this room, you pay fucking thousands.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you earn more, so.
And you pay less taxes. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The tax system in the UK, it's the more you make, the more you pay.
But also, you do have to pay for your health insurance.
Yeah.
And you have to pay for this other thing. And
that's true. And it's also, in terms of jobs, companies in the US could close like this.
Yeah.
And you have nothing safe. You have nowhere to go when it comes to your job. You can get fired in days. This is a conversation I had with my American friend. He said that the way that the jobs work here, you have at least a month or 2 months of a lease kind of thing that they can allow you to find another job. In the US, it doesn't exist.
No.
Most companies don't allow that, and that comes from prior government, according to his words. I don't necessarily say it's true or not, but I would believe him as it comes from there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And also, I think as well, when it comes to that, if you had a circle around you, if you had that foundation of friends, family in the US, that changes things, because then you get that kind of safety blanket. But if you didn't have that, then it's different altogether.
How safe can you feel waking up every day thinking something might happen today? I might get fired. I would never find a job, or I have a family. What am I going to do? Things really change here. This is why a lot of Americans come here in terms of jobs wise. So,
and I hear a lot of people that say they go to the US and it's like they've never felt like they can be, as free. Like even me, even when I look back.
Really?
Yes, bro. Even when I look back, right?
Wow, I would have.
Before the US, like I could kind of be myself, but equally like I was part of my group and I didn't want to say anything too like out of character or like blah blah blah. I go to the US and I'm like, I can just be my full self. That's
what I thought it would be like. Freedom.
No, it is. It is what I'm saying. It is like it's. I felt so myself, and like I felt like I could do. Everyone's just so much more. There's so much more leniency. Like if you go in the UK, right, and you see some guy doing something in a gym, and you might just like, but what's he doing? And then instantly you know that everyone else is thinking like, what's he doing? In America, they don't even notice the guy's doing what. Like,
yeah, they just don't care.
they're just very.
I think,
and it's very interesting to see and experience, and it's one of the things I love the most about America. Definitely, people just feel less. I wouldn't say judgmental. That's the wrong word, because I wouldn't say we're judgmental. Maybe some people would probably say that we are, but the US, they just kind of don't. They just kind of have like a wider perception of what like the norm is.
I think
there isn't really that much of a norm.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think the Americans, they allow, not allow, but they're more sort of used to anormality.
Yeah, I think Americans, I don't know, they're just different. They have a different, a different culture.
It's hard not to be different when you come
culture.
from the US.
Yeah.
You have everything at the reach of your hand. And this is something everybody has. Well, not everybody. Of course, not everybody.
See, this is what's interesting, because sorry to interrupt, but
no, go ahead.
Japan is quite the opposite.
Right.
Everyone's quite, like, everyone has a very, their culture is very much like, there is a right and a wrong of everything.
Right.
It is quite strict, but not in a bad way. Yeah. And this is what, like, the contrast, like, there is good parts about how everyone can be whatever in America, but there are also bad parts to it. And same with Japan. I loved how unbelievably controlled everything seemed. Like, you always kind of knew what you were getting, and you always kind of knew what to expect. Like, everything was, clean. Everyone was the same, acted the same. Everyone was, relatively respectful, quiet, kept to themselves. Nothing was like crazy out of the ordinary. Whereas America was completely like, you could get the wrong subway, and your whole other like perception of humanity is changed. Like, whereas in Japan, it's like, and it's so interesting to the complete, like, look at the complete opposite. Yeah. But again, there's benefits to one, and there's negatives. There's benefits to both, and there's negatives to both.
I agree.
And I think the UK is kind of a little bit of a middle ground in terms of like, I think we're definitely more open than Japan in terms of like our personalities and stuff, but we also still have that kind of foundational kind of operational strictness that everyone kind of follows and kind of sticks to.
Yeah.
In some ways. In London, it's probably different.
Yeah.
But you go other places in the UK, like, little villages and stuff, and you'll probably see it a bit more. Like, you can go to one, like, the village culture is very universal.
It is.
It's very universal around the UK, and it's cool.
It is.
I mean, I grew up in a village. I like it, but it's, yeah.
I'll probably say Henley is the same.
Yeah, probably,
It's a town. I'll say Henley is more of a town than a village, but there's a slight difference in them. But it's like everybody acts the same way in this town, and in the village, everybody knows each other's. If you go to the bar, everybody would know. They'll ask you the day after. So for sure, what you're saying is completely correct. Villages in London and towns are completely opposite.
Oh, it's completely different. What would be your piece of advice for the younger generation watching right now? Maybe they don't live in the UK, maybe they do, whatever their situation is, it could be whatever. They're watching right now, they're thinking, I'm not really too sure what I want to do with my life. I see everyone doing all these amazing things, traveling all these amazing places. This is what I want. How do I blah, blah, blah. What is your piece of advice to keep them strong and in a good direction?
That's a phenomenal piece of questioning. But I would definitely say that being yourself gets you to places. Taking all the good in your life and projecting it in different ways. slowly will get you to places. I've never seen anybody in my life that tried their hardest and didn't go somewhere. Life is, in the universe, is so given that if you're willing, seriously willing, to put 100% of your day, every single day, into what you want to achieve, you will do it. Because you can put 100% today. You go work today, yesterday, or the day after, you call in sick. That was the day you could have met the possible person that would have offered you a job in the country of your dreams. So it's, yes, you can be lucky, but you need to be there to get lucky. That's what I'll probably say, is that luck doesn't just come out of roots and out of trees and anything. I would say that you need to be there to get lucky.
So just show up.
Show up. Yeah, show up. Be there. Whether it's rainy, whether it's a horrible day. Don't forget that most of you out there have, luckily, working hands and working legs and working brains, and don't have issues with drinking. I'll say you will get somewhere. And I think the idea of becoming someone doesn't fit to most of us. Because we are all someone right now. Whether we want to be someone else and become something else in the future, it's what you need to worry about. Don't forget that you're someone now. And use what you know now to become someone in the future. Or something else. I'm not sure if that made sense.
That makes sense.
At all, but...
What about someone who knows all of this, but they're still unsure which direction to take?
I think if you flip a coin, it's not as easy as flipping a coin. But if you flip a coin and you go, on that side, I'm going to stay here and be with my girlfriend, or be with my ex, or whatever, or be with my family, and on the other side of the coin, I'm going to go for it. Once you flip the coin, you know exactly which side of the coin you want it to land. And if it's stay here, you know you're not ready for something like that. But when you flip the coin and you want the coin to land take the next step, go for it. Don't be scared. I think you don't need to even worry about the coin. I think that's definitely a good analogy that I like to use on most of my achievements and what have I become in the last couple of years, is that should I change career path? Should I not? Flip the coin on the air. I know exactly what I want it to land. And if you know it, just go for it.
So you think everyone deeply
everybody knows it. In fact, I have a theory. This is gonna get interesting. The human knows everything. Everything. What do I mean? You perhaps not know how many arteries are in the body, but you definitely know that to learn how many arteries are in their body, you need to study how many arteries in their body. You may not know what the roots of a vine for grape are, but you know that if you study them, you're going to learn them. You may not know how to become financially free, but if you know and you study a way, you're going to get there. So I have a theory that the human knows everything when it comes to how to push forwards. That's an outtake that I love to think about, because I know that I need to go to the gym to get bigger. I know that I need to study to learn and get a better promotion at job, at my work. I know that I need to drink a little less every now and then. I go outside. We know all of this, and we know the steps, how to take them. we just engraved into the safetyness of not wanting to know, because that makes us feel less stress. Because the more you know, the more stress you have. With the same way, the higher you go in a job, in a company, the more stress you're going to have. Stress equals knowledge. If you know more, you're going to be stressed about people not knowing what you know. And if you are... Something I want to say to the people watching this is that if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You're by far in the wrong room. Because you don't need people in your room that go yes to you. You need to be in a room in which an environment that people challenge your ideas and challenge your thoughts. In that way, you learn about perhaps yourself and a different view and someone else. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in this nutshell, in this shelf of I'm the best at this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that without actually expanding yourself. And most people don't realize until later on, I'll probably say. So, yeah, just don't be afraid to take that initial step. Once again, they're the hardest steps to take in life, in business, in relationships, in friendships, in any sort of way. So that was probably what I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think as well, people don't necessarily need to know what they want to do, as long as they know kind of more who they want to become. Would you say that's important?
100%. If you want to become someone that links, hopefully, to the good values that you have and that you've learned throughout your whole life, then do whatever is possible to push that idea. If you want to become someone that doesn't link to anything that you have ever learned from loved ones, from previous exes, from relationships, from most things, then who do you really want to become? You need to have a good idea on who you want to become before you strive through. It's hard to even picture that out, which is completely normal. Most of us still don't know who do we want to become. But I'll say, if you ever confuse in who you want to become, don't ever forget to look at the fundamentals, the floor where we all come from. You find answers in the way our moms used to raise us, in the things that she used to say, and in the way that you knew if you misbehave, there was consequences. You definitely know that if you misbehave in the future, things would link through. So don't forget to look where you come from to understand where you want to go in the future. That's my personal way I like to think about my life. Never forget, excuse me, what I've learned and what have life taught me already in my next sort of occasions and situations, let's say. That's what I'll probably leave it out there. For sure. It's more complex than that, but
Manuel, thank you.
You're very welcome. Honored.
It's been a pleasure.
Honored to be here. Thank you very much. Hopefully people are aware now of Venezuela a little bit. Yeah, people like us, we mean well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.